Today, myself and Paminas are going to be discussing how to legally terminate an unperforming employee. And I want us to start us off, or rather you start us off by telling us the early signs that an employee isn't performing. What are those signs?
Yes, thank you, Cynthia, for that question. I think performance management is it's a key issue among many employers, managers, leaders go through, because it's an integral part of doing business.
Yes.
So in terms of signs, I would say there are many signs, but top of mind, I would say look at the quality of work. So if all of a sudden they've started producing poor quality of work, for me that's a red flag. Also attitude, if all of a sudden they've started to have negative attitude. Apart from the poor quality of work, you could also look at the production level. So for example, if it's someone in sales and in a month they were able to bring, they were putting effort when they were able to onboard 10 clients, but all of a sudden they can't even be able to do 4. So that's also could be a sign. I would also look at the relationships you have in the office, although this is not a major one, because I may not be getting along with my colleagues, but I'm doing my job, but also it's a pointer. And lastly would also be all of a sudden they've started to make errors and mistakes. So for me, those would be the signs to look out for when it comes to performance issues.
So it gets to a point where you have to let go of this employee. So how do you do it legally?
I think we can't just look at the legal aspect. You also have to look at the ethical aspect. And for me, before you even address the legal aspect, it's first to ask yourself, why is this employee not performing? And it would be best to have a discussion, to start it at that level. Just have a one-on-one, get to understand, hey, Cynthia, I expect you to onboard 10 clients. The last 2 months, you've only been able to do 8. So that means you have a shortfall of 12. What has been happening? Because when it comes to performance, there are 2 main factors that affect an employee performance. It could be job related or it could be a personal issue. So if it's a personal issue, let's say someone is going through some tough times in their relationship. And that will definitely have an impact on the work, because we are one and the same. It's not like when we come to work, we forget about our individual. We don't leave things at the door. So if that's the case, then as an employer, all you can do is to try and support them as they try and overcome whatever personal issues they might be having. And then maybe even that way, when you're supporting them, they'll be able to recover much faster and be able to come back to work and perform to your level of expectation. It could be something like, someone has started to come to work late, and if you just go straight on to punishing them without understanding where you are, where they're coming from, you might lose a good employee. For example, someone might have moved estates. So someone might have been staying in South B, now they've gone to Kitengela, and all of a sudden they have to commute for an additional 2 hours. So if a simple understanding that, I've moved to a new location, I need time to adapt. So it will be good to look at it that way. Also, when you're speaking to them, there's a possibility they might tell you, you gave me a target of 10, and as you know, in the last 2 years, I've actually been surpassing that, but the economy is depressed. People don't have a lot to spend. So, we lost a major client, and this is the reason why we lost. Maybe the client came to us, they needed discounts, they needed us to give them better terms, and we didn't, and that's why they've gone to a competitor. So you see, that time, you can look and say, wow, okay, even I as an employer, I've had a role to play. So that's why, in the first instance, just have a discussion, try and find out where this person is coming from. So if you've done all that and it's the fault of the employee, so to speak, then this is where performance improvement plan comes in place. And this is where now you document the discussion. So if it's for you, I'll sit with you, Cindy, I'll tell you, okay, we discussed that you're supposed to be bringing 10 accounts in a month. There's a discussion we had 2 months ago. You didn't have justification as to why you're not performing. So now I'm putting you on a PIP, and this PIP will be for, let's say, 2 months, where during that period, I need you to improve on your performance. So after those 2 months in there, then you go back and say, okay, you're under performance improvement plan. What have you done within those 2 months? Maybe before the PIP they were doing 4 accounts, but now they've gone to 9. They haven't yet hit the 10, but as you can see, there's an improvement. So from there you can decide, okay, let me extend your PIP.
Yeah.
But if you find, oh, they are still at 4, or they've even gone worse now, they are now at 3, or they've not even put an effort, then the law then allows you to terminate the relationship. Yeah. So that's the due process that you have to follow. Yeah.
Of course, there has to be documentation, which is what you've
Exactly.
mentioned.
Yes. PIP, the essence of PIP, as opposed to just having a conversation, is that PIP is documented. This is where we are, this is the situation, this is what is expected of you, this is how I'll support you as an employer, and then this is how we are going to review your performance. And if you don't improve, this will be the outcome. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any additional advice to employers as we wrap up?
For employers, it always pays to follow the due process. I know it can be emotional, especially when you're paying this person a salary. You're going all out there to make sure that this person delivers, but they are not doing their bit. And at times, you find even it's lack of effort. And it doesn't feel good to a manager or a business owner. But I would say remove the emotional aspect out of it. Try to address the issue one-on-one. And if there's no improvement, ensure that there's a PIP. And this is where we come in as professionals, such that, let's say you don't have a HR department, so you can call us. We can be able to advise you on the steps to take, even how to word the PIP, such that you remain legally compliant. Why? Because if you fire Cindy on account of non-performance, the court will be interested with what process did you take her through? Where is the proof? So PIP is one of the documents that you need to produce. Even to the staff themselves, apart from making sure they are PIP, it's the way I look at it is it's a due process, and there's fairness. Because if I talk to you about performance for 2 months, it's documented, you didn't improve. For you then, how can you blame me if I terminate your employment? I've done all I could. So then the exit is handled in a very mature way. And that's, I guess, we go wrong as employers where we make it emotional. I call you, I shout you in the office. You don't have to go all through that. So I think for employers, following the due process is very important. If you don't have a HR department, get in touch with people like us, and we can be able to support you.
Thank you so much for those tips, and thank you for watching the video. If you want support on any HR matters, please click on the link below that you have left in the description box, and you'll find more information about the services we offer, and we'll be happy to help. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.